prayer and then we'll get started. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God, we ask you to take control of this meeting. Please help us and guide us to understanding some of the infrastructure information we're about to share, stormwater information, and help us do what we can to make our city a lot better. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right. So I'm going to give a brief update on storm. I know there's one or two slides in here that I kind of shared last time. And then I'm going to give some additional updates. And then I know our county councilman is going to give some updates on some of the stuff he's doing. So the city of Deltona stormwater system is built on 5 basins. 4 of them are within the city. 1 of them is outside, which is Deep Creek, which is county. The stormwater maintenance, the city is divided into 31 working sectors. This division of the city into manageable sectors allows a more efficient distribution of work effort throughout the city. Obviously, I'm not going to read all this stuff, but stormwater has 11 emergency portable stormwater pumps. And I think this is important, right? The amount of stormwater pipe that we have is about 97 miles. This morning at the delegation meeting, we talked about Deltona's infrastructures getting close to 50 years old because we took it over from before we were a city. So we're obviously asking them for a lot more funds coming up. These are some of the things that Public Works, what they do: Deltona Water operations and fields operations, traffic, fleet, stormwater. Staff is on call 24/7, and this PowerPoint, by the way, is available for you guys if you want it. I can email it to you, no problem. Stormwater staff is highly aware of areas that are impacted by nuisance flooding. Example, Elkham and Lake Osteen Road, which will come up in just a few minutes. This knowledge of the city's stormwater infrastructure allows staff to prioritize attention to these areas prior to, during, and after a storm event. The Stormwater Division provides ongoing stormwater system construction, roadside surface drainage network maintenance, removal of obstructive vegetation, which is when we talk about dredging, and the Mency machine going in to clean. From open ditches, cleaning of the underground storm sewer network, and provides responsive emergency stormwater services. All right, so the county so we've been working on these studies, and the county has actually finished approving the 3 of them to what the purpose of each of these studies will be. For example, the Providence Basin study is to evaluate the drainage across residential streets and wetlands, propose improvements that enhance water flow, reduce flooding in low-lying areas. This is directly from the county website, okay? This is the McGarty Basin study. Same ordeal, right? The study is going to focus on identifying improvements such as stormwater pumping, grading, or added storage, reducing flooding, improve stormwater movement towards Lake Monroe. And the Gleason Basin study, this one has engineering goals, which is to improve stormwater conveyance, reduce localized flooding, and improve downstream water quality towards Lake Monroe. And this is some information that we have. So, for example, right now the city of Deltona, we're working on 10 to 11 stormwater projects that are actually on their way, are being worked on right now. We just got approved for 2 Transform 386 projects that were funded. I'll let the county councilman talk a little bit about that. And obviously, we're going to continue focusing on protecting the homes and neighborhoods. The county of Volusia has come out and they have indicated that, so right now they are currently working on a county-wide stormwater dashboard. It's going to be broken up into 2 different sectors. 1, the projects that are coming up, and number 2, the maintenance that is being worked on. Now that information has to be provided to the county by each individual city, and only the cities that are participating will be on the dashboard. There's an increased will for collaboration with the county and the city, and I think the biggest one, right, is the Deep Creek study that the county is doing, and they're considering an above-ground water retention reservoir, is what I was told. It's on county property, but Deltona would be able to use that water. So, or sorry, the reservoir. So every 3 to 5 years, Duke and FPL, they do maintenance around all of our electrical wiring, utility wiring, and this is the year that it was time to get done. So they are actually out there. I took several different pictures when I was out on the streets. Both Duke and FPL are working on the maintenance, and we had a small discussion. Duke is talking about reducing some of their fees, and at the same time, they're talking about maybe making these, both FPL and Duke, making the maintenance instead of every 3 to 5 years, maybe every 2 to 3 years, just because of the amount of storms we've had recently.
So is that the residents' responsibility to let them know that they have, or this is like on the streets, that's not a permanent residence?
So this is mainly on the main roads, on the inner streets. I mean, if you have issues like that, you can always call, because that's actually one of the questions I had asked. And remember, we had a resident here with the similar situations. If you see that the bushes or the tree leaves are getting too close to the power lines and it's in there right away, you would have to contact the power company, and then they'll go down there and mitigate if it's the responsibility of the resident or if that falls under their purview. So there's a little gray area there when it comes to the cables that are in the back of the homes or on non-main streets.
So, do you remember me from
I do remember, yeah.
Okay, I never received an answer, ever.
Still have not received an answer. Okay.
But I took care of it myself, slowly but surely. I went out there every day and cut it up. But when they first went out there, after the hurricane, they had to have seen the mess that was behind there and all those trees and the power lines. They didn't touch it. All they did was cut the part that fell into my yard, warning my trees. And I mean, huge,
and they left it here.
Huge. So I had to take a saw every day and go out there and do a little, put it out on the street every Monday, whatever. It took me a whole year. But they still had to have seen that that's not going to solve the whole issue, because all of those trees are in that top power line. I
remember, because twice you had told me about the
fingers. It's the county, it's the city, it's
I remember.
Vegetation department, it's this department, it's whatever. I mean, it's taken care of, but I'm just saying that it just was so uncoordinated, and I know they had to have seen the mess that was out there. And I know it's on somebody's property, but I think the trees are on, what do you call that? Not like a berm. Yeah, where they weren't supposed to build there, and they did. So trucks can't get down there. But I still think it's property in Deltona, but somebody built on it.
I got to figure out a way to get a better way to communicate with Duke.
Well, it's FPL.
And well, with both of them.
Yeah.
I seem to get a little bit more responses from FPL. I don't know why you still have not received a response, but
no, from your office.
I mean, I haven't. The message that you sent me, I've personally forwarded.
Yeah, you emailed and said and nothing.
And nothing. Well, I'll try to follow up.
I understand. It's kind of over with now, but I can predict the future. I'm sorry. I mean, I know.
We just don't want that to happen to other people.
Well, and not so much. I was just looking for something that, especially with elderly or handicapped people, there's some sort of assistance there. And don't even mind paying for whatever.
Yeah.
But if the city could assist on, situations like that where, we need to help them out a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying, they could have cut it into tinier pieces or something. I know it's something minor, but I mean.
Thank you. I wanted to share, this might be helpful for you. It's related to something that you think the power company, the Florida Public Service Commission has a consumer advocate department where you can reach out to them and submit complaints, and then they'll reach out to the power companies to try to, sometimes it's rating and sometimes it could be other stuff. This is another resource, just FYI.
It is a positive step.
Yeah, the consumer advocate is called. Just FYI.
So just, we got one more town hall coming up, which is awareness, diabetes awareness town hall. That one's done with Advent Health. There's an endocrinologist, I can't believe I actually said it right this time, that comes out, and very smart lady. She kind of goes through the processes about type 1 diabetes, that the vice mayor is type 1 diabetic, so we host it together. We go into type 2, which is what I have, even though I'm becoming pre-diabetic now. And then we talk about type 1.5 diabetes, which is like this here new, and type, what they're referring to, type 3 diabetes, which has to do with Alzheimer's and dementia. So very important if you guys can make it out to that. That usually does get pretty packed. But they bring a lot of information, which is great. And that's obviously my contact information on that. David, do you want to come up here and kind of go over?
Yeah, I'll just.
And then we'll do questions, obviously.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for being here and those that are online. I just want to share a couple of things because the mayor's topic is kind of timely regarding some of the flooding things and the infrastructure work that's happening, not just in the city, but across the county. I just want to highlight that the county website, there is one that shows all of the projects going on. We have hundreds of millions of dollars that are being dispersed already, some more to come, some the city has been a recipient of for infrastructure projects that are related to mostly stormwater. I want to share with everyone that prior to these storms that we received, the really nasty ones, right, that we got several inches of rain that began the real big attention around flooding issues throughout the county, it's important for people to know that prior to that, most of our stormwater systems, almost all of them, were designed to accept about 11 inches of rain, a downpour of about 11 inches of rain. Because that was kind of sort of historically what we've seen, right? So the concept was, it predates me, but could you have over-engineered it and maybe predicted what happened, right? I don't know, but some people would accuse that of being wasteful spending, right? If your average or your high point at that point was only been 11 or less than that, it was unprecedented. We had 18 inches of rain in areas that it just could not sustain the surge. No matter what happened, there was no systems for the most part that could sustain that, especially in our lowest lying areas in the county. And most of those areas were some of the older communities that predated stormwater requirements. A lot of these houses that were affected were before that. And it's not their fault, those homeowners, that's what the product that was being provided, and that's how those things were designed. Today's standards are nowhere near that. They're very, very high, and we just even raised those standards a couple of months ago, 6 months ago. We added to those standards. Now, there's some legislative reforms that are holding us back. There's some people who are starting to fight regarding the 180. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, Senate Bill 180, but there's some changes hopefully that'll come to it. But we have adapted to those changes now that we've seen what's happening. So when it comes to commentary about understanding where the flooding's happening, we know where it is. The city knows where it is. The county knows where it is. The state knows where it is. So don't buy that commentary. What's been happening over the last, let's say about a year now, is the county, I represented the county, we've been working collaboratively with the cities that are asking for help to work with them in the areas where they've identified it or their flooding areas. And the way the process works is we will then invest money based on their submittals in doing studies. Some of them are county studies, some of them are city studies that they put in, and we help fund it. But it's important to know that those studies are not to tell us that there's flooding there, we know it. Those studies are engineering and design studies to take us to the next step. But we can't just show up with backhoes and start laying pipes everywhere without any real engineering done to it. So we are now in those phases of many projects throughout the county. So that is ongoing right now. There's a lot of money being spent. So don't buy any commentary, in my opinion, that shows that nothing's happening. That's all rhetoric. So specific to Deltona, what the mayor was mentioning, Lake Helen Osteen Road and Elkham, I don't know if you're familiar with that intersection. Well, we've known for years that area's been bad when it rains a lot. If you drive through there and we get a good downpour, there's going to be water there for a few hours, sometimes a day or two. It's really nasty. So now that we've had this funding, that project was submitted through the city, and I just see your commissioner in District 1 just sat there. There's a project that he and I discussed, and I encouraged the filing with the 386 grant, and they just got funded. So that project now is going to that design construction phase right now. There's another one further down on Providence Boulevard, closer to Normandy area. There's a subdivision called Twin Lakes there. So there's a lake there called, I think it's called Sweet Gums Lake. Sweet Gums Lake. That lake has issues, so we're going to be doing some pumping project there, which will help offset flooding that happens throughout that area. So it's not just an impact in that community, but it's also going to give some relief to the neighboring areas. So amongst other things, the mayor mentioned Deep Creek in his slide. The Deep Creek is going to be a big project if we can get that done. That's a county-funded project. I guess I'll say it. That was my idea. I suggested it in the county council because we have thousands of acres just north of, where the Publix is on Elkham and Howland. So you think about north back into that area, it used to be called the Leffler Ranch and other areas. We got thousands of acres that we have purchased for conservation. And right after the storms, I said, well, why don't we create a basin that we can keep and pump water and keep it controlled? And I'm a fisherman too, so I thought maybe it could be a place where we can fish for bass. So, that's the funny side of it. I know you laugh, but there are facilities like that are really predominantly for stormwater infrastructure. And there's canal systems and pumps that keep the lake at certain levels, and you can fill it ahead of time. And then it connects to Deep Creek, which eventually goes out into the St. Johns River. So that will be a regional project. That is moving forward. So lots of things happening in many cities across the county regarding all kinds of infrastructure projects. Right now, the big topic for us is, Mr. Mayor, if I can deviate a little bit so people know, we are now in a major conversation in the county regarding road projects, right? Because there's a lot of roads in the county now that need to be updated. Some need to be widened. And we have a huge list of projects that need to be funded. And guess what? We don't have enough money for it. We don't have enough. We are over 100 million, close to $200 million just in projects in the next few years, which we don't have funding for. So that you're going to hear a lot about that is how do we fund these projects? There's several ideas that are out there. We're going to be talking about them over the next few months. Some of them may even require a referendum for people to decide because infrastructure is a big deal, especially when it comes to roads. Howland Boulevard out here. If you've lived here for a while, remember this section of Howland Boulevard here was the first section that got widened to 4 lanes. Well, if you drive it now, you can see it's it's getting those long cracked lines right up the middle, and it's getting there. So it's going to have to be put on the list for resurfacing soon, and that costs a lot of money. So those are things that are happening. Infrastructure not being ignored. Flooding is certainly not being ignored. Policy changes are happening. We've even increased our standards when it comes to development. I know there's a lot of anti-development sentiment out there, and I get it. I've lived here 35 years. I think you said within 2021? 2001, you said, right? 2001. Yeah, 2001. So I've lived here 35 years. I came to Deltona when people said, Del what? They didn't know what it was, right? They thought it was farmlands. So I've seen this community grow from nothing to what it is today. A lot of it, most of it is actually lots that are already owned. If you really look at it, the majority of the growth that's happened in Deltona is people that bought lots from different states from the 2000s on, and some have been purchased recently. But most of what you see, it's already been planned back from the Mackel brother days, right? Now, it's safe to say that I don't think they were very visionary in some of the roads and some of the infrastructure, and now we're paying the price for it. But that was predating the city's creation, and anybody that's sitting in this room, there may be 1 or 2 people left from those days back there. That's what's happened, is that the growth has happened there. But what I wanted to share was that the policies are changing in the county, and I think the city's doing some too. I don't want to use the word to make it more difficult, to make it better, right? Because there's that struggle, and this is where I'm going to get in trouble. Say hi to the social media world, right? There's that struggle between how do you balance people's property rights, because people have rights, right, legally, and also still manage growth and have growth be done the right way without stealing those rights. You know, I'm proud to be an American. I'm not going to sing that song, but I am, and I believe in individual rights and treating people honestly and fairly and legally. One of the often things, and I'm on my soapbox, Mr. Chair, Mr. Mayor, one of the things that I often say is that, a lot of what you see, and I'm just showing you from what it is, I've been in the process for a while, it's legal processes. You don't often hear about that commentary, but emotions don't work in court. The judge doesn't want to hear emotions. And what happens is a lot of these very sophisticated individuals that have lawyers, they know what they're doing, they know how to work the process. And in 99% of the cases, we are following state law, right? And yes, let's go change state law, but it's the locals have to follow that state law. And what happens often is the locals here get a lot of the brunt of that criticism, but what they're also doing is protecting your pockets. Because guess what happens when you lose a lawsuit? The attorneys get paid, the lawsuits get paid. It's just in the process. So I don't want to get off my soapbox, but we are making changes within the realm of what we can do, state law. And when state laws changes, then we can continue from there. So a lot of work happening in the county, a lot of work happening in the city. Just stay informed. Get your sources from the original sources, and then ask questions from there. I appreciate you all watching and you being here. And I'll answer any questions if you have anything for the county. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
For the county,
Yeah.
so that means all of Volusia
Yeah,
County?
yeah.
Do you know if there's any plans for, having something for Veterans Day?
It's the question for the social media world. The question was, is there anything for Veterans Day? That's the question that the lady just asked. In the county, I don't know. There's always activities for the Veterans Day, and we have a veterans page on the county website. I'll tell you this. About 6 months ago, we just launched a huge initiative for veteran type of benefits and policy changes that make Volusia County. We're proud to say that we believe we're the #1 veteran-friendly county in the state of Florida, and we're being recognized by a lot of veteran organizations. So what that means is, it could be from free parking in some of our county parks, access to additional resources in the county to help veterans for whatever process that might interact with the county. There's a whole list of things that we just passed at the county council that help veterans on many levels. So any one specific event, I can't reference one right now, but I'm sure we can go to the website and find there's always tons of events. So
Okay, that will involve citizens.
oh yeah. And we are the #1 veteran-friendly county in the state. I feel confident saying I know we have a vet here. Thank you. Oh, you're a vet too? I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. I see the hat. Thanks. Thank you for your service.
But do you know if Deltona has anything?
Yes.
Because, you know how I see posted spectacular and all that, I have not seen anything for vets, but I didn't know you had a veteran page either.
That's the county. It's going to be at the Veterans Memorial Park. I can try to ask when we're going to release the information. But we usually do hamburgers and hot dogs, and they do like a big barbecue thing and some celebration. Is usually what gets done.
Okay.
But I'll confirm again and see if Mark is going to put anything out there.
Yeah, because I think it should be on, when you're driving and you see it on that.
On the marquee signs?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that the city I think this last year was the first year where they started putting up the pictures of the veterans on the corners.
That's a great program.
Yeah, that was great that they did
It's
that.
also the 250th birthday.
That's right.
Yeah, but you can get
America,
people to,
right.
donate a little money here so I can, like my family and friends and relatives,
Yeah. It's a great program. I will tell you that Lauren King, Sue, we really tried really hard for a while to get that program up and running, and they did a great job. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm very happy. I will tell you that Avon Health made some donations, so I don't know if they have any more spaces available. But they had some donations that were given to them by different organizations for the vets that couldn't afford it at the time, so they can get their picture done and put it up there. So
But it's only up there for like a year or something, or?
every year they're supposed to. So I'll get with them to get the correct information. But every year they put them back up. I believe you still have to give the donation every year as well. That's part of the program, though. That's not that's not the VFW's rules. I think it's the rules of the actual program. So there might be a discount if you're going to use the same banner, you know, unless it's one of the ones that were donated like by Advent Health or one of the other ones that have the logo on them.
So can you apply online? Is it on the city website?
That's a great question. It is on the city website?
On the city's website.
Okay. Before I leave, I want you to text me again, so I get your number comes up,
Okay,
and I'll send you the link. If not, I have the picture and the application that I can send you.
okay.
Just a few more updates. So I'm part of what they call the Volusia County Roundtable of Elected Officials. We get mayors from all across the county of Volusia. The county of Volusia, and we we've created a subcommittee for stormwater mitigation, and we're trying to come up with ideas of one, how can we fund whatever we're trying to fix without pushing a penny tax or a sales tax or any of that, and number two, is it going to be effective, right? So our stormwater systems are designed to take 25-year storms, if I'm not mistaken. So we've asked to get that increased, and we're looking at our storm systems can only take a certain amount of inches of rain, right? One of the questions that I asked was, can we raise it to 18 inches? And Ben, who I have a lot of respect for, looked at me and was like, Mayor, that's such an amazing thought, but it's extremely expensive. It's not going to work right now because it's very expensive. So if you guys have never come up to that, that's open to the public. It's usually at the Daytona Beach Airport. There's a lot of great information. I usually release the agenda on my social media page or whatever, but our city manager is usually there. If not, Ms. Wallace, who is part of Public Works, is there. And we have a lot of great conversations. But there's a resident that usually comes all the time. He's from a different city. He's brought up a lot of great info. But if you guys come and you want to share some ideas, it's more brains to help us think a little bit more. It's going to always be better. So that's pretty much it. That I had just basically stormwater information to bring today. So, any questions before? Okay. Yeah. Yes, you do. So I know for those that wanted to know some the parking situation. The commission. While the ordinance is active, but the enforcement has been currently suspended until we make sure we mitigate that law and make sure it's actually something that we can enforce. Other than that, the last thing I do want to reference is the property that was sold, where they're thinking about building some more houses, just because I've seen this enough and I've got enough emails that I have to address it. That was not sold by the city of Deltona. That was sold by the Volusia County School Board. City of Deltona did not get rights to first refusal. There's no written law that says we have to get right to first refusal. And I know there's somebody out there telling everyone to go to the DRC meeting tomorrow, which is great. Just know that by state law, anybody that's going to do those type of buildings, they have to do a public hearing to get input from the public now. That's something that's new. So most times developers do it anyways, but this time it's a mandatory thing. That project, from my understanding, will not be coming to the commission because they are not asking for variances. They're going to build what it's designed to be built there, which is residential R1. So just clearing that out there. The city has nothing to do with that. So other than that, I appreciate you guys for coming out.
I do have one accolade.
Yeah.
I currently am going to Deltona University.
Awesome.
And whoever thought of that is innovative, and I really would love to see that in high schools.
Could we block the city manager from not listening to that part so his head doesn't get big? It's big enough, but
He's got a big head,
yeah, he does. It's gonna get bigger now with your compliment, by the way.
But that's something that I love. I mean, high school, I'm telling you, it's really very interesting.
So I will be there. Is it your graduation this or next week? Yeah, I'll be there for the graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole commission should be there for the graduation of each one. So I know Davison usually is there for the food. But we should all be there. We should all be there.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I know this is the mayor's show, and I apologize. You know, you mentioned Deltona University, because the county has something similar, but that is instrumental, especially if you want to get involved in the process and really understand how things work. That's the place to start, because not only do they tell you what the main departments do, I think they do an overview of the responsibilities of the different local layers of government too. Like, this is what the city's responsible for, this is what the county's responsible for this is what the state, and because most of the times, you know, there's commentary that really doesn't understand that process. So I want to applaud you and anyone else that goes through the process, because you're getting the firsthand, I don't want to say training or education, but the information to really make informed decisions based on your opinion and what you know, and you're empowered to understand the process. So I'd encourage everybody, sign up for Deltona University, sign up for the counties. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but we have a similar.
We're all overworked, we know that. But the county one, is that with the sheriff's department?
No, it's done through the county. I'll get your information from the mayor, and we'll get you the
Because
information.
the sheriff used to have that program too.
He may.
And I went to that, and that was fabulous too.
Well, even, like you mentioned, I know this is the mayor meeting, but you know, the sheriff has the Constat meetings in Deltona.
Yes.
That shares all the latest crime statistics for Deltona. You hear it from the horse's mouth, as they say.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's great information. So thank you for your engagement in that area.
To your point, someone was, because you know it's political season, so everybody's getting ready to go after everyone. Somebody made a comment about that our crime's been going up, and we get a quarterly report, and our crime is not going up. There's pockets, depends on the crime, that go up. For example, when you have domestic violence, sometimes you'll see theft go up because if the husband or the wife, it goes both ways, takes the spouse's phone, that's considered theft. So that might go up. There's little holidays, there's little branches of time where you'll see theft goes up, retail theft goes up a little bit. There was 3 weeks straight that we had a couple of shootings. I spoke to our captain because I got concerned. He's like, Mayor, believe it or not, for the year, we're not even at halfway point. So any crime is bad, but we're the largest city. We're the second largest city in Central Florida. So trust me when I tell you, I've done ride-alongs, he's done ride-alongs. I think everybody here, elected officials, he's going to do one soon, I'm sure. But Commissioner Santiago has done ride-alongs. What we see, what I've seen at least, and what I hear from the deputies, the majority of our crime, and I won't mention the city so they don't get mad at me, right? The majority of our crimes are bleed-ins from other cities. Do we have crime in Deltona? Yeah, but the majority is the bleed-ins.
Does the sheriff's office allow the regular citizen to do a ride-along?
I believe they do. There was a gentleman, right, Ruben? Yeah, there was a gentleman there when I did my first ride-along. He was dressed like a cop, by the way. I thought he was a detective or an undercover.
I know a little bit more. I've done over 100 ride-alongs since 2003.
Just show up.
Yeah.
I've never been around.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. But my understanding of that process is it's typically they open it up to anybody that's applied or within the police academy, getting ready to become a police officer or the deputy. So either applied, getting ready to go to school, been interviewed, they allow those to do the ride-along. That gentleman that you were referencing was a student in the academy.
Vice Mayor, did you want to say anything? I saw you were, okay. Before we go, I just want to mention in the back of the room, and the people here can see it, there is a notice, because the ones that are watching can't see it, is a sunshine notice that allows other commissioners to be here, and we can literally talk about business stuff because there is a notice. So I've learned to do that when I first got elected, because I had commissioners who are no longer there come to the meetings and they wanted to talk, and to just cover ourselves, I made sure we put notices up. It's recorded. You can pretty much, as long as there's a recording audio, there's a video, obviously, we're good. So other than that, you guys have a great day, and thank you for coming out.